I've been getting a lot of questions about the T, and that's something that I actually recently put on the Model S Plaid right here, because yes, we do have it on the Model Y, and of course we have it on the 100D back there. And I'm getting a lot of questions of people saying, why did you put it on this car? You said you were doing a wrap. Is it the same wrap? What's going on? Well, it is not the same. We actually just put that T on because I had a couple extra that I already had printed and cut out, so it was like, might as well use them a little bit. And we wanted it on there for when we did our Tesla supercharger meetup with a bunch of people local here in Colorado to check out Plaid. And so I went ahead and put those on there, but those are gonna be coming off. We wanna get the car ready for wrap. So we got it tinted over by our friends at Colorado Detail. Highly recommend them if you are in the Colorado area. They do an excellent job. They have actually tinted most of our cars. And so we went ahead and had it tinted here. So I did do these sides. I even did the front. The front, I definitely did it a little lighter, but that way I can still get those ceramic tint properties, like the heat rejection, stuff like that. It really does help. And now we have like black interior. Yeah, we have cooled seats, so that helps, but I still wanted to keep cool in there. The only thing we didn't do though is this top glass. I have never really had an issue with the top glass, and it seems like they even went a little darker on this than previous models. So I didn't really want to do it, but I've also had some people say there's like cracked due to like the heat being trapped in the glass. I don't know how true that is, but I just went ahead and just didn't do that. But we did go ahead and do the back as well, and I think it came out looking really good. But I went ahead and put the T on this before we did our supercharger meetup so that people would know whose car it is. Not like it's really that hard to tell. Anyway, the Derek up there. And also while we were at Colorado Detail, I went ahead and kind of fogged these out a little bit. It's basically like a paint protection film. I believe it's actually from Expel as well. Colorado Detail did this when he did the tint. And it will help protect this, not only from like rock chips and everything, but it gives it that really kind of cool look. I really dig that. And these lights on that look really, really good. I didn't do anything to the backlights yet. We'll have to figure that out. But anyway, I'm going to be getting this car wrapped coming up. It is going to be something completely off the wall. I'm pretty sure that no one really has any idea or would ever guess what I'm going to be doing. But I need to get it ready for that. So the T, I'll probably keep on there till like the day before, but I want to take off this license plate because that's kind of hideous, but also for the wrap process, it needs to be done. We'll save it maybe and put it back on. But also this chrome T right here, I'm not digging this at all. So either A, I'll need my wrap guys to wrap it, or B, we'll figure something else out with it. I have some other ideas for that though. But also on the back, you do have the chrome Plaid letters, which I am not a huge fan of the chrome, obviously. And the Plaid's not too bad. We have some things going on there. Okay, so I've cleaned the canvas so we don't have to stare at a bunch of bug guts on the front of the car. But I wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of close up and a little bit of backstory on here. So on the 100D Model S that we had, the front plate holder actually comes down and under. And then there were 2 bolts on the underside on the 100D Model S. But here you can see there's no bolts or anything on the underside. This is strictly held on with double-sided tape. It is very, very strong double-sided tape though. I would never try to just rip this off as is, because this is actually a couple part piece. There's this front piece right here that we see that is painted same color as the car. So if you have like red, it'll be painted red, etc. And then there's a black plastic piece under this, and that is the piece that is actually double-sided tape to the car. So what we want to go ahead and do is take these 3 bolts out so we can access that piece, and then that piece we can remove. Now, these bolts are a very like special like 5-headed bolt. They're not your like average kind of like hex or anything like that. Now for the Model S 100D, I ended up buying something like this to be able to get those bolts out from under here because there wasn't a ton of room. So yeah, you can buy a special socket to remove these. It's really kind of not worth it when you can literally just use this and be able to grab it and turn it like that. I don't see anybody really benefiting from having to buy a whole socket unless you're doing a ton of these, which most people aren't going to be. So I would just use something like common household like this. Grab this and turn it at all. Okay, so maybe these won't work very well. Let's try something else. Why Tesla didn't go with like a regular bolt I have no idea. There we go. So this is working just fine. So don't use needle nose, use something a little thicker like this, so that way it can hit one side or like two little notches, and then the top one, and then that way you can get it. And I'm sure once we get it out far enough, we can just use our finger. Nope, not yet. There we go. So one down, two to go. Okay, and so that just comes right off. That's what the back kind of looks like, just unpainted. I'm sure just assembly line just paints all those. This is the big monstrosity that's on here. You can really see, like, this thing is nuts. The amount of like bracing and everything on here, just how thick it is. But we want that completely off. I don't want anything on here. So you can use some pry bars, but you need to be careful you don't scratch your paint. I would recommend applying some heat with a hair dryer or a heat gun to kind of soften up that adhesive. There's probably, my guess is 2 long strips under here of very high bond tape. And that is what you need to be careful with. Like, you can kind of see it flexes a little bit, but I don't want to hurt my bumper. I don't want to damage it with anything. So I think we're going to try to apply some heat first. And this is just a heat gun that I just bought, I think at like Harbor Freight, cheaper one, but you have kind of like a dial back here. You can kind of see that. Nothing fancy. Don't need anything super bougie. It's just literally removing this. Now, other options that I might try are just like the spudgers. You just gotta be careful because you don't want to hurt your paint underneath. Now, the nice thing is up top right here, I can kind of see the double-sided tape. So I'm kind of able to just like put this in a little bit and maybe like cut it just a little bit. Again, though, this is not like a sharp tip. It won't do anything to hurt paint. Make sure you're using plastic, good ones. I'll link some down below if you want any. But as of right now, I can only see this top piece, and it does run the full length, kind of like right here. So I'd assume there's another one right here. Okay. So there it is. You can see actually, this part of the tape never even made contact with the car. You can just see kind of like how glossy it is right here. And all of this did. But that thing is still a huge pain to take off. And now we have to deal with this. So for removing this stuff, I found I like to kind of just like peel at it a little bit. And that can help remove a lot of it. Now when I'm done though, I always like to go over it with some alcohol, or you can even do like the alcohol wipes, whatever you can get a hold of, in a little paper towel, just to make sure you get all that adhesive residue off. Now yes, the gentleman that will be wrapping my car, I'm sure he has everything and is very knowledgeable enough to be able to do this, but I figured we'll go ahead and do this, one, because I don't like how it looks, so I want it off ASAP, but two, that way we can kind of show you guys kind of how it's done. Now, if you don't have any nails, this is gonna be a little harder, but you can kind of just like roll it. So for the rear plaid letters, we're not gonna use spudgers or any kind of tools like that because that can most likely bend these in any case. Now, we will not be putting plaid on the new wrap because we have one of the first 25 badges that'll go right here. So that'll look really cool. But I want this off. My wrap guy's gonna have to remove it anyway, so we're just gonna help him out a little bit. So we're just gonna use our little dental floss. Now the dental floss works much better in the back here because it's not like super thick or anything. So you can just kind of take it like this, run it right under, and kind of saw it back and forth. It might rip on you, but you can just like replace this if you need to. Just watch out because you're gonna really kind of hurt your fingers a little bit. And you can just kind of do that. And now it's laid. So So now that we had our fun with the Plaid Model S, we're gonna go ahead and just remove all the other letters, make sure it's all clean. Oh, L went flying. A. I went flying as well. And there's the D. I got the D. I got the D. Now we'll just go ahead and clean up all these other letters and kind of like we already did. I'll find the A later. I don't know where it flew off to. But kind of like all the other ones, these aren't, I would say it's not as high quality of an adhesive that holds on the front license plate because it doesn't need to be as strong. So it doesn't really come off as easily. So with alcohol, I just like to just wipe it and it'll slowly start breaking down all the adhesive and come off. Okay, so that's pretty much removing the Plaid lettering in the back, removing the front license plate and adding a logo that we decided to put on the car, kind of like we've done with the other ones. But like I said, it is going in for a full wrap in the coming weeks. So everything is going to change. Hopefully it looks good, because otherwise maybe I'll just peel it back off and none of you will see it, or we'll make a video of like worst wrap ever. But hopefully it looks good. It is like custom printed wrap, so there's no turning back now. It's sitting right there. I'm staring at it. It's out there. We'll say that. It's an interesting one. You guys will kind of get it when you see it, but some of you might not. I don't know. Stay tuned. But that's pretty much it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I just want to make a quick video, especially on that front license plate holder, because they have changed that. And that double-sided tape really holds on to that thing. So just be careful with that so that you don't hurt your car bumper. But that's basically it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, huge thanks to our channel sponsor, Abstract Ocean. If you are looking to accessorize your Model S, X3, or Y, definitely check them out, all linked down below, and using code Tesla Inventory will get you 15% off of your first purchase. Our number one must-have accessory is definitely gonna be a screen protector, whether you are team gloss or team matte. We are team matte because it really helps reduce any glare from the sun, and thanks to its oleophobic surface, helps reduce any fingerprints, so you can like hardly ever see them if there are even any on there. It really makes it much easier to clean and even film for that matter, so I really do love those. As well as a center console wrap. It really helps protect that first gen console, that glossy black, or if you have the second gen, it really helps protect that as well, but also helps make your car your own. You can do all kinds of cool colors as well as patterns like the carbon fiber, so definitely check them out. Again, all linked down below, and huge thanks to them. But that's basically it. Definitely let us know, do you prefer a front plate or do you remove it? I'm always curious what people think about the front plate. It can cause a lot of drama sometimes. But that's basically it. Definitely thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Go and click here to subscribe here for some other ones, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Roll it up, we gon' burn it down.